I'm sitting here right now in Panera Bread. As you can see, my wife's car wouldn't start this morning, so I had to go bring her to work, and she's got an MRI later. So I didn't want to leave the area, go home, have to drive back and pick her up. So I'm sitting here. I got yolk in my beard, just ate an egg sandwich, and got a little update. So if you remember the video from yesterday, I told you guys that we were going to be going looking at some buses. Yesterday we did go. It was pretty cool. It was pretty informative. The couple things that happened. One, we figured out what style of bus we want to buy. Initially, I'll show you that in a second. Initially, I was thinking that we would do they're called flat nose. I'll show you a picture of it in a minute, because a lot of what I heard was there's more room inside and all that, and there's two different models. There's ones where the motors are up front, and the complaints that I've heard about those was with the motor up front, it's really hard to have a conversation when you're driving the vehicle. And then there's ones that have the motor in the back. Those are called pushers. So we were able to see a flat nose bus last night. Started it, was able to kind of sit and listen and see the noise level on them, and figured out that it's kind of loud. A lot of people who have those style of buses insulate them to reduce the noise from the motor, but literally the motor's like right in the floor right as you walk in the bus, and it's really, really loud. So we went and we looked at one of the traditional style school buses that you see, not the flat nose style. So just real quick, so that right there, this is considered a flat nose. See how the front of the bus is flat, and that's more of a traditional style school bus. So we had looked at both models and discovered that the flat nose bus, as people were talking about that have more room inside, has 2 feet more. So from the back of the driver's seat to the back of the bus in the flat nose model, it's 32 feet long. In the standard traditional size style school bus, it's 30 feet long. So the good news on both of those is my original design and layout for our bus and our build, I only had it at 28 feet, 7.5 feet wide by 28 feet long, because I'd heard people talking about like 200 square feet of living space. Both buses, either style, the flat nose style would give us an additional 4 feet distance. The traditional bus kind is going to give us an additional 2 feet, which equals out to 7.5 times 2, so that's 14. So it's like another 15 square feet of space that we didn't plan for originally. So that's great. Yeah, so we went, we looked, didn't buy anything, but figured out what we want, and I'm going to keep my eyes open. We're hoping to start the build in spring, but I did want to show you this. So I would encourage you, if you're looking to buy a bus like we are, just do a lot of research on the internet. There's tons of websites that you can buy them from. I can tell you this, one of the things that I've heard that we're going to take the advice is, we're looking for something local, something that we can go and see, something that's used to driving in the area that we live in, because we live in the Northeast, and there's, elevation here, and there's snowy roads and all that. So we're just going to check it for rust, and we're going to get something that we know is going to work for at least the area that we live in, because anywhere we go from here, other than the far west into the Rockies, will be flatter and warmer than where we are. And so the bus, I'm assuming, from these areas will probably operate better in flatter, warmer areas. And I'm imagining a bus that can make it through, the snow in the winters up here in New England will do just fine. going through the Rockies in the spring and the summertime, things like that. So that's what we're looking at. It was a good learning experience. I got to actually see the space, do some measurements. It was good. One of the other things I did want to show you real quick, as I'm learning this whole thing, it's been a real good experience for me to kind of figure some of this stuff out and figure out what we want to do. One of the things that I had seen on Instagram or YouTube, one or the other, was the suggestion of using a program called SketchUp, which I'm trying to pull up the model design that I did on my computer here. Let me pause this for a second and see if I can find it. Let's see where you are. Let's see where you are. I can't find it right now, so that'll have to be something I show you guys later. But SketchUp is a great free program that you can either use live on the internet or you can download off the internet, and there's some tutorials out there on how to use the program and how to use it. There's actually a tutorial specifically for school bus build design. So if you're interested in trying to figure this stuff out like I am, trying to figure out layouts and things like that, go on there, look at it. I also suggest that you just watch a bunch of YouTube videos on school bus builds, start following a bunch of people on Instagram that have school buses, Skoolies, because there's tons of different design options. There's tons of different design styles and layouts, and we had to look through a bunch before we kind of figured out the way we want to lay out our bus. But if I get an opportunity and I find it, I will show you our layout and keep you updated. So that's the update. Looked at some buses, haven't bought one yet, but we're feeling good about the process, and I'll update you with more news to come. All right, bye.